Where else on the radio would you hear the set that just played? For the most part, the music you hear on Border Radio is pretty hard to find on commercial radio stations. You'll hear this music only on a public radio station like Border Radio, where you, our listener, truly appreciates it and owns it. Visit borderradioaz.org to donate today.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are joined by Sharon from Into the Den, the place where I went and handled snakes. Yes.
And how was that?
Yeah, it was really cool. A couple of snakes I got to hold that day. And she's the reptile expert and expert amongst other things. We're going to get into that.
Awesome. And we're also going to have Dusty Fields. He's the retiring fire chief of the Yuma Fire Department. Google says he's been doing 31 years of service, and he's retiring in September.
Well, yes, congratulations.
We'll see if Google's right.
Yeah, we'll find out. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming right now online through the KAWC YouTube and Border Radio Facebook pages. And shoot us an email to whatsupyumaradio@kawc.org.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. YumaElectricServiceLLC.com.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of the What's Up Yuma radio show. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we have a guest. But real quick, I just want to talk about, we went to the fight. Ronnie got to join me. MMA. I always want to say UFC. But
I say
MMA.
UFC, I say MMA, and Yuma Fight. I don't know which one it is.
But it was a pretty cool event.
It was my first one.
Your first one?
Yes.
Did you have a good time?
I did. There was a lot of yelling and blood. Just kidding. It wasn't as bloody as I thought.
Well, there was blood in the cage.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
It was a good time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so really good time. So shout out to everyone that put that event on.
They did great.
There were some other people here at the station that wanted to go. So next time, if you're listening, you want to go, let me know. We're going to all hang out over there.
Yeah, it's fun.
But let's move forward. And today's episode, as teased, the reptile expert herself. And we're going to find out how she became an expert, or like knows a thing or two about all the reptiles and creepy, crawly things, I guess, in Yuma and the area. We are here with Sharon from Into the Den. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Yuma.
So I was, we're teasing. We're talking about reptiles. And you were one of the first videos that I did when I started What's Up Yuma on the social media side, because you had snakes. And I said, you know what? If any video is going to go, viral,
snakes.
It's going to be, it's going to be a video of me with snakes. And it did, and it worked.
They're cute.
They are cute. It was a little intimidating at first. I think they're cool. Like Yeah. Do you fear snakes, Ronnie?
I don't ever want to own one. But my husband loves them.
Yeah.
I told him if he brings one home, I will throw it outside.
Bo can't have snakes?
He loves snakes, I know. And I actually wanted you to bring one today so I could show him. I will hold it. So she didn't bring any for me today, but it's okay. We'll go visit you. We'll go visit the shop.
Yes, please.
But we did the video. You let me hold the snakes. But that's something you offer at Into the Den. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, so we here at Into the Den, I offer basically time for you to come in. So I have 2 snakes there. I have some animals that we don't hold, like a desert dune scorpion and a desert blanc.
Why don't we hold those? What's wrong with that?
You don't want to die?
Why are you limiting access to this scorpion that needs love too?
Okay, so let's do a video on that.
The scorpion gets love.
Okay.
Yeah, she gets love.
Okay,
her name is Lulu.
Lulu.
Yeah, I thought she was pregnant, but I think she just loves her cockroaches.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so I have the ones that you can come in and hold are my California king snake, Marigold, my Snoring gopher snake, if you are over the age of 18, because she's pretty big. She's 5.5 feet.
Wow.
And then I do have a baby desert chuckwalla. And he is so tiny right now. He's about 3 inches.
Oh.
So yeah, I only let certain people handle him. But once he gets full grown, he's probably going to be about a foot to 2 feet long, so he's going to
Okay.
be a big lizard, and he'll be able to hang out with the kids and stuff.
Awesome.
And then
Are the lizards? They're pretty docile as
Yes,
well, so
yes.
no chances of getting nipped by it, or maybe you can get nipped.
yes, you can
Okay.
get. But I have actually. I was out. They were doing some. I don't know the correct term, but they at South Mountain in Phoenix, they were blowing up a portion of the mountain to build stuff for houses or a road or whatever. And there's a really unique population of chuckwallas on that mountain that have yellow tails, orange tails, and they're protected. So I volunteered with Game and Fish to go and try and find as many of them as we could to relocate them.
Wow.
But they have this defense mechanism. I'm just going to explain really quick. It's very cool.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I would-
so they're found in mountainous areas. So you're not going to ever find one in the town of Yuma. You will not find a chuckwalla outside of your house. You have to go into the mountain areas where there's rocks and stuff like that. But they swallow air and they puff up their bodies in the rock crevices, so the predators can't actually get to them. And
Smart.
then they do a little hiss and whip their tail. It's really cute. But I was doing this. I was volunteering to get these chuckwallas, and we were like doing some stuff to mark them, and I got bit by an adult chuckwalla.
Oh, so what was that like?
It actually, I thought it kind of hurt a little bit, and it left his little teeth marks, and I was like, oh my God, it's so cute.
Oh, so cute. Yeah, that's it. Well, you got
Keep that forever.
well, you do got piercings and tattoos, so it's like, it's like, what is that?
It didn't hurt. Yeah.
No, it didn't hurt.
No.
Oh, it didn't
Okay.
hurt.
No.
So you talked a little bit about other places in Arizona. So at one point in time, you were a park ranger?
Yes.
The name is so cool.
Yeah.
Is the job as cool as the name sounds?
85% of the time.
85%?
So let me tell you,
Okay,
as a
so
park ranger,
you tell me.
You
I'll go.
clean
You go, girl.
bathrooms.
oh.
You clean, and I
Okay.
have to
I
tell.
quit.
Wait, can I tell you a story?
Yeah,
Yes.
about
Oh,
a
I love
bathroom?
it.
Yes, about a
Hold on,
bathroom.
let me look at my producer.
No.
Can we see
Is
it?
that
No, I'm just
allowed?
joking.
You're- okay.
Tell whatever you want. You're
yes,
good.
so I loved my job as a state park ranger. Let me clarify state, because a lot of people are like, oh, they start talking about whatever. I was a state park ranger, which
Okay.
was amazing. And can I say what park I worked at?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
What-
So I worked at Red Rock State Park in Sedona, and shout out to Jared, Riley, Tori, Heidi. Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hopefully, all of them are
They're like-
watching and or listening right now.
In
So shout out to you
Sedona.
guys.
Yeah,
In Sedona.
Sedona. So beautiful park, and part of our job as a ranger was to clean the bathrooms. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this,
Okay,
but
good.
there was a intense accident in the
Okay.
bathroom, and I was in charge of cleaning that.
Wow.
And then I said I had never seen anything like this in my life. After I was like, I have to go home.
So did they give you like?
traumatized.
I left.
You left? You
Oh,
just
I
took
had to
off?
shower.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah. Well,
yes.
that's good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you showered.
I can't even
That's-
imagine. I have to shower after cleaning my own bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'm a very clean person. So I would already say, you know what, this job's not for me.
Yeah.
Like I would have quit.
But the glorious side of that is that I could go out and just be with nature and the mule deer,
Mule deer.
Mule deer.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and the snakes and the lizards and everybody else out there.
So where did you grow up, and how did you get your
Yeah.
fascination with snakes
start?
and
Yeah.
reptiles? and-
Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of funny. So I was born in South Carolina, lived there for 2 months, then we moved to Okinawa, Japan. My dad was in the Marines and then the Navy as dentist. So we were there. And then we moved to Yuma, surprisingly. So I was actually here. I went to Ronald Reagan, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So, and then we were only here for 2 years. Then we moved to Phoenix. But really, the only thing I did not get into, I was not a sports person. I was not an art person. I was not an instrument person, but I liked cats.
Okay, so you're a cat
your
person.
I was a-
first,
Yes.
you were first drawn to cats.
Yes.
Like everything about cats.
Oh,
or
yes.
You just okay.
So, did
So-
you have a whole bunch?
No, my mom, I was little, so we just had, but I do have a funny story. I went into the neighbors were giving away cats and they gave me one and I went home and lied and said I found it. So my mom let me keep it.
Oh, that's nice.
A little manipulation never
that's-
hurts, right? Like, okay.
Kids, if you're watching, do not lie to your
We are
parents.
not promoting.
No,
No,
we're not
no.
promoting that in any way. No, I'm just kidding. That's a cute story. So you got to keep the cat?
Yes, and then then to Phoenix, and Yes. Once I got a little bit older, like 11, 12, I was like, I want to work with wildcats.
Okay.
And then I like looked up a school that you could go to actually work with wildcats. And then I was like, oh, I want to be a wildlife manager. I had no idea what that was.
Okay, so wait a minute. Wildcats. So let's go back to that. I want to go back to that.
like
Like
tigers?
wildcats. Yeah.
Tigers, yes.
Lions and tigers
Yes.
and panthers
my.
and all of it.
Yeah, I wanted to work with them. Yeah.
Like what are the guys in Vegas? Something in Roy?
Oh yeah, Siegfried and Roy, Siegfriid and Roy. Not that you don't want to go to a circus, right?
No, geez,
you
no.
wanted to care for them like a refuge
Yeah,
place. Okay,
yeah.
But do you have the guts to do that, to get inside with a tiger? Have you ever done that since?
So I respect those type of animals, and I do not. I don't think I would go to a place that allowed that, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've watched videos of people like
I know.
in India, rich people at these certain places
yeah, I
in the
would
Middle
just
East,
have them.
and they just have a tiger roaming around, and they would use it to
this
scare
cannot
their
be
friends.
safe.
You know?
So, let me tell you something. Wild cats need a ridiculous amount of land for their home range.
Okay.
And so when they get, I'm not going to get into how I feel about this too long, but when they get put in a captive position, it's very upsetting to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
So
So you're not, obviously not for that at all.
No.
But if something happened and they needed to be
Injured.
adopted into a refuge place, you're fine with that.
yes. So what happens is people actually there's some states that you can get a wildcat. I saw this show and he had these 2 adult tigers and baby in a trailer. Wow. And so there's places that end up going and rescuing these animals. So that's like a different situation where, yeah.
So what about bobcats? Because those are more known to our area, right? We could
Bobcats
run
are
into.
cool.
Have you ever had an experience with a bobcat?
I've seen them, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're very cute. If I ever saw one close, I'd really want to pet it, but
Probably not a good
wow.
idea.
but they could do some damage.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
no.
Like I'd be like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm
they
leaving.
can do some damage.
Okay.
No, so from cats to
Wildlife
wildlife,
manager.
right? Because you're starting to pull on that thread,
Yeah.
saying, okay, I like cats, maybe wildcats, and then the wildlife as a whole.
Yeah.
Explain a little bit of that and how that happened.
So funny enough, I wasn't into bugs and stuff like that as a child, snakes and bugs, because usually that starts at around 6 and 7. The kids want to explore. But as an adult, the more I interned and knew that I wanted to, when I first realized there was a period in my life where I didn't do that great. And so during that
Okay, that's
time,
fine.
I kind of lost sight of what I wanted to do. And so eventually when I got back, and I figured out that I wanted to work with wildlife, things just progressed. And I started to nurture my inner child. And doing that and the progression through my internships and things like that, I realized how much I love nature and bugs and grass and flowers and rocks and
Just the outside.
Just the outside.
So early on, the cats, and then you got into more wildlife. You started to see some stuff, but like you said, there was a point in your life you're maybe not too proud of. Something happened, and nature became almost something that's healing for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Can you go into that a little bit, like how that healing journey happened with nature?
Yeah. So it didn't start off with nature. So eventually, so it started more of trying to find something bigger than myself to help me. And then through that, I started meditating. And then through that, I realized I wanted to go back to school and work with wildlife. And then through that, I was exposed to nature. And then from there, I realized how much happiness and peace it brought me. And I was literally working as a park ranger. This is going to sound silly to people that don't relate to this, but I was watching these birds, and there was the male bird. He was doing his dance to attract her or to try and get her to mate. And I just sat there and watched it. And I was in the most peaceful place I have ever been in my life, just watching those birds,
Yeah.
So
it did. Nature is healing. I have to
Yes,
say,
it is.
if I have something going on, I like to go for a walk, maybe down by the river, and just take that in, because there is a healing factor,
Absolutely.
literally in the dirt too. People that know about grounding and and so you found that, you got into it, you started to pull that thread. So as a park ranger, you saw the birds, the guy dancing. I could dance. That's how I attract women. I do the same thing as birds. And then
Oh
you
my
said,
gosh.
now it's almost healing for you all the time, because this is what you get to do for a living.
Yeah.
Yes, and part of why I like to do it is because a lot of people, I really am attracted to, like I said, bugs and bats and really things people are afraid of, and I don't know why. I just am. Well, I really like pigeons. I love bats.
I'm not afraid of pigeons.
I'm not afraid of
People
them.
are like,
I'm just
rats in the
joking.
sky.
Yeah, that's what they call
and
them.
you know
yeah.
what? It's not their fault. Okay, they've adapted and they're surviving. Okay, but anyways,
We
yeah.
won't make
so-
fun of pigeons on
Thank
here
you.
anymore.
We love you, pigeons. Like, don't poop on my car.
No, but so I really love the unloved, and I try to educate people on why they are important, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to kill this bug. And it's like, well, guess what you're doing? Guess who? Do you like birds? This is what I tell the kids. Do you like birds? And they're like, oh, yeah. And then I'm like, okay, well, guess what they eat?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I've understood that, right? So that's why I if I see a bug, I get it out of the house typically because I know there's a cycle of life, right?
Yeah.
And so this is food for something.
Yep.
And I know it exists here, except for mosquitoes. I will always kill a mosquito anytime.
kill mosquitoes.
I'm allergic
everybody,
to
If you don't
mosquitoes.
kill
Wow.
mosquitoes, you're too far of a hippie or something.
do
You gotta
kill mosquitoes.
Yeah,
They
we got to
carry
kill
diseases.
I'm glad we all agree about
Yeah.
that in this.
Pigeons cool, mosquitoes bad. We got it on
there
the
we
show.
go.
I know that they feed a lot of animals, but I don't want them transferring
No.
diseases
No,
to me.
those
at all.
disease-ridden things, and we're
Okay,
gonna
well,
be.
we're getting a little far here,
Okay.
John.
Yeah, we're like way off topic.
No, there is no off topic with this radio show. It's all things
Anything
go.
is on topic.
Anything's on topic. And we're going to come back with more of those topics after a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. Specializing in residential and commercial wiring, services also include EV charging unit installs and solar-ready service panel upgrades. Information and consultation appointments at yumaelectricservicellc.com.
This is 94.7 FM. I'm Juan Garcia from the KEWC Newsroom. There's an extreme heat warning in effect for Yuma today with the high near 111 and mostly clear tonight with a low around 82. Rural Arizona Engagement hosted its annual sticker design contest in mid-July. The entries are in and voting is now open to the public until Friday, August 8th. For more information, visit kawc.org/news. Stay tuned for more What's Up Yuma with Johnny and Ronnie on 94.7 FM KOFA Border Radio.
The Yuma County Library District provides activities and resources at its branches for people of all ages. Events include story time, citizenship classes, bilingual programs, crafts, author talks, and more. For more information about the activities and calendar of events, plus other in-person and online resources, visit yumalibrary.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to the What's Up Yuma radio show. We are here with Sharon from Into the Den. We're talking about all reptiles and creepy crawly things that typically somebody might not like. They look at it. You were talking a little bit about bats and snakes and spiders, something that you said you were attracted to, and you want to teach people about why they're important. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the things, and I just said this, but one of the things I like to, because I do teach kids, and one of the things I like to say is like, because they want to go, oh, the spider, let's kill it, or oh, this, bug, let's automatic reaction is to kill it. And so I say, well, do you like birds? And they're always like, yeah, I like 95% of the time people say they like birds. And then I'm like, well, guess what they eat? If you kill all their bugs, we're going to kill all the birds. I mean, obviously there's seed-eating birds and fish-eating birds, but I don't have to explain all that.
But then I get that, and that's one of the things you do at Into the Den. You teach kids, and you've done it at the Heritage for the Heritage area.
Yeah.
So does that open up their eyes a little bit? Do they get a little bit more sense of wonder? Because that's what kids are all about. And then if you give them a little bit of information, they'll get inquisitive, and then they'll start pulling on that thread. So what are some of the things you've seen when able to teach these kids about the cycle of life?
Well, it's usually a big group when I do it, but I do see some of them kind of have a reaction like, oh, I didn't really think about it like that. You know what I mean? And then I think like me just having the reaction. There's been a couple times when I've been out on a hike with the kids, and I've picked up a wild snake, and I don't let them touch it or get near it, but I will pick it up and explain, so I hope that I mean, they're always really excited, and I just hope that it lessens the fear for some of them.
So how are these kids like getting in touch with you to do these hikes or to do these things?
So for the Yuma Crossing, the ones I'm specifically talking about are through the OOK program, and that is through, it is a grant from the National Park Foundation, and then it is something that's offered to 3rd through 5th grade, and it's paid for by the grant. So, and that's a hike through the wetlands, a tour at the prison, and then not the prison, the Yuma Territorial Prison.
The kids are going to prison.
Send the kids to prison.
And then the Colorado River State Historic Park. Yes, so there are field trips
that's
through
how.
there.
Yeah. Got it.
So I like to go. Part of my healing is taking walks down by the river,
Absolutely.
and I did encounter a snake one day. It was right next to me. It looked harmless. I don't know if it was or not, but I got right up next to it, and it was just trying to make its way to the water.
Yep.
But it was pretty cool to be able to interact, and I even in rattlesnakes, I ain't cool with killing those, right?
Yeah,
There's a place for them.
Yep.
But they are very prominent on some of those hikes when you're going down by the river. What should somebody do if they encounter a rattlesnake taking a walk over the West Wetlands or such?
Yeah. Don't throw rocks at it, okay? Don't run.
Okay,
all right?
don't run.
Yeah, don't. This animal is afraid of you. It is ridiculously small compared to you. It wants to protect itself, and it is letting you know that it's there if you hear its rattle. You want to give space between you and the rattlesnake, and you want to go around it, or you want to back up till it can't see you, and then hopefully it'll move into a crevice.
Oh,
yeah. So
these are all great tips.
Yeah. Don't do anything to make it more scared.
Because you said then the natural reaction, they are afraid of you.
Correct.
And so that's why the rattle's going off,
Correct.
and it's kind of giving you a warning.
Exactly.
Like, hey, I have this deadly venom. Chill out.
Don't
Like
mess with
I'm
me.
afraid. I will attack if I
Yes,
have to.
yes.
But so just kind of move out of the way. Just let them have its space. Where would you typically encounter one on some of these walks? What's something to look out for to maybe where one of their holes or nests or whatever they call for snakes?
So I mean, they could be anywhere really. They could be in crevices. They could be up sun basking on the rocks. They could be in brush. So one of the other main tips is don't put your feet and your hands where you can't see, because if you step on one, that's another that's another good way to get bit, is if you accidentally step on one.
So
And
stay
even
on the
that's not-
stay on the path.
Yeah, stay on the path, and if you see one, just give. I mean, you can really. They are not they are not nearly as. They will not chase you. That is my number one.
Okay, so there's
thing.
another thing, right? Okay, so you mentioned just walk away. They will not chase you.
They are not going to chase you.
Yeah.
They don't
they're not
care about
trying.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're trying to run away from you.
They don't want to waste their venom on you. It takes them time to build up that venom. They know they can't eat us.
Well, there you go. They know
Like,
that
they're way too big.
Yeah.
So, what other animals that you would like to educate the kids about? Because you said you have a tarantula, right?
Yes.
You have a tarantula. Are those common to see around here?
I don't know if I would say they're common here. They were common in Sedona, but we definitely. I do a lot of herping. Herpetology is the study of reptiles, and herping is when you go out look for reptiles. So I do this on my free time. Me and my partner Dave, we like to do it. And so we do see a pretty good amount of tarantulas out there up in the foothills.
So when you're herping, when you're out there looking for them, you will find them. Because I know like a pastime here is getting a black light out. And if you go out to some of the desert areas and you find scorpions.
Yeah, they're everywhere out there.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And so, okay, now you're saying they're everywhere, but I don't hear a lot about scorpion incidences. Why is that? Because it's not
that's true.
as venomous as a rattlesnake? Is it just, what is it about that? Or they just interact differently?
Yeah, so many scorpions, they're the only scorpion you really have to, same with tarantulas. Tarantulas are very docile animals. They're very docile, and their venom is very mild, like a bee sting. So unless you have an allergic reaction, you're going to be fine. It's just going to hurt. Same with most scorpions. Most scorpions, it's going to hurt, but the only one you have to worry about is a bark scorpion.
And what do
they're
they
the
look
little
like?
ones. I mean, they're little and yellow.
Okay.
The main things I say to look for if you see a scorpion crawling vertically, it's a bark scorpion because they're the only ones that can crawl, or one of the only ones in Arizona that can crawl up a wall vertically.
So what do you do if it's like in your house?
I would catch it and just put it outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No screaming and throwing things at it.
No, I mean, people get concerned when they have kids and animals, and I understand that. And I mean, yeah, I don't want to promote like spraying or anything, but at least in your house, maybe, you know, because they don't need to be in the house.
But in the desert, we've lived with them for a long time, so it's just part of life in the desert.
Yeah, and we're grown into their habitat. This was
Exactly.
where they were until we came.
Yeah, and you mentioned the tarantula. When I went, you didn't let me handle the tarantula because you
Yes.
said that it was too
He's
young,
a little jumpy.
skittish,
He's a little jumpy. Yeah, I need to start handling him with a glove because I even don't want to get bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean that's fine if I do, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants
Enjoy
to.
getting bit, you guys.
So I need to get a glove and start handling him so I can at least take him out and show
Yeah.
the kids him on my hand and see that they are docile.
So you told us about 2 new ambassador animals.
I did, yes.
I want to play the game.
Okay, we're going to play a game here. They are the same species. So they're going to
Okay.
be brother and sister or brother and brother. I
So
don't
it's
know.
the same thing.
Yes.
Same.
So it's
okay.
one
So what she's gonna
species.
do is let me and Johnny guess what it is because neither one of. She said we won't get it though.
Yeah, unless you know reptiles. So I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
I wish you could we could play a game. People could call in.
Oh my god, I wish.
Well, one day when I get a little bit more staff here, we could do it with the comments and
Yeah.
stuff because people are commenting. We could do that, but not today.
I bet,
Not
I bet you
today.
there's some
Not today.
reptile people out there that would know
Okay.
automatically. if
Okay,
they
let's
saw
see.
this.
So what's some hints of
All right,
this?
so we have it likes riparian areas. So
I don't even know
I
what
know,
that
I'm
means.
going to explain. Get Johnny.
Can I call a friend? Tell him, what's a riparian?
Wait, 50-50, right? Take away 2 of the answers. This is like.
Let her explain. Go.
All right,
Okay.
riparian.
I see the picture first.
Yeah,
I see it.
riparian means. Let me zoom in first, and then
Okay.
we'll go back. So riparian means close to water.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay,
All right,
so they
okay.
like a moist environment, and it has. Well, I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to keep giving
Okay.
hints.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it
Okay.
a water moccasin?
No, it is not a water moccasin.
An axolotl?
No, it is not an axolotl.
Okay.
Did you make that word up?
No.
No, that's an animal.
No,
just
it's
joking.
no, it is. It's a thing. My son Grayson would always talk about axolotl, and I thought
they're not native.
I thought he made it up, but I guess on YouTube they go viral. So
Okay, I need more hints.
People always ask me questions about like all these. I'm like, I just know about native animals. I
Yeah.
don't know about
Everything in the
African
world.
cobras.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Okay,
That's not even a real
give
animal,
us a
by
few
the
more
way.
hints and then just tell us.
Okay, so there, 4 legs.
4 legs.
oh, it
so
has
it's a lizard. It's a lizard.
Correct,
Then.
it
It's
is
a
a
lizard.
lizard.
We have a lizard.
Yes, we have
Did
another
I win
lizard.
because I got no?
I
Because
mean,
I have to
that's-
tell you what type of
Okay,
lizard.
so how about I'll give you a hint for the second word.
Okay.
The second word is
it
like
echo?
a
Because I
swamp
can
animal.
get that echo. No. Okay.
Swamp
Like a gator?
Oh, you got it.
It's a gator.
Well, no,
You're getting a gator?
No.
No.
It's a lizard. We already decided it's a lizard.
They're not.
second
Gators
legs-
aren't lizards.
The second
okay.
word is alligator.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay. So you're getting a type of gator? Lizard.
A lizard?
gator. Lizard alligator.
That was
It's
too
a
easy.
Madrean alligator lizard.
Madrean. Okay, we're gonna look that up. What that is.
Yeah.
So,
That was fun.
But native
So-
to where?
Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So you're
Yeah.
getting
okay.
2.
Yeah, we're getting 2. Yeah. Yeah, and my partner Dave, he works for Game and Fish, and he's a biologist there, and so he loves to build enclosures. So he is going to set up a really good enclosure for them. We're probably going to do bioactive, so we can have some plants in there.
Wow.
And then, yeah, he actually just built Charles a big outdoor enclosure. Charles is my Chuckwalla baby. So yeah, he's got a good setup too.
And then, so we were going to ask one of the
Yes.
questions, your favorite of the reptile species, and you said it's on your shirt.
And then I
Yes.
was like, oh, bearded dragon. And she's like, no, that's not a
Ronnie was way off. Like,
I seem to be off this
Yeah,
whole
no.
time.
Yeah,
Like, I am
it's
not
okay.
the reptile lady.
It's okay.
But I personally love bearded dragons.
Yeah.
They are
Bearded dragons
so
are great.
cute.
Yes. Horned lizards are my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I do have a tattoo of one, and it's amazing.
And you have a tarantula on your hand.
Yes, I am all like people might see me from afar and they're like, "Oh, she's got tattoos and piercings." I'm like, if you look closely, it's all animals.
And there's a tiger on your leg.
there's a tiger. I have a tiger. I do have a dinosaur because I have the evolution of of dinosaur to bird. So, and then I have a tarantula. I have a beetle. I have a owl, and a horned lizard.
I love it.
So thank you so much for coming on. If people want to get a hold of you, where do we do that?
Yes.
Please go to my website. I do offer birthday parties with the animals, which is really fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
And you can go to my website, www.intothedenlounge.com. You can go on my Instagram, Into the Den Lounge. Just get in contact with me. We can set up a birthday party. You can come to the shop. I can give you some education on how to ID venomous versus non-venomous, which is really important here in
And
Yuma.
important because, like you said,
Very
you went on that walk and you know what snake to pick
Yes,
up and which one to
absolutely.
handle.
Yeah.
I want to get to that point, so I'm going to have to do this because I love snakes. I want to pick it up. I think it'd be cool. So you could learn that at Into the Den.
Yes.
All right,
can.
send me a picture when you do that. I'll stay home.
I'll do it. Game on. Game on.
Game off.
All right. With that, thank you so
Thanks,
much
Sharon.
again.
Yeah,
we
thanks for
really
having me.
appreciate you. And we'll be back after a short break with Dusty Fields.
Yes,
He's coming
he is
up.
the retiring fire chief.
All right. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
AWC's Small Business Development Center will host a business pitch competition on September 10th at its location on Redondo Center Drive. Plan, Pitch, and Prosper 2025 will offer a Shark Tank-style competition for individuals who wish to showcase their ventures. Information is at azwestern.edu/SBDC.
Hear the rhythm. Feel the beat. Let your curiosity run away on the Latin Alternative. Hi, I'm Josh Norick. Every episode of the Latin Alternative takes you on a thrilling rendezvous of sonic and exotic landscapes in Latin rock, funk, hip-hop, electronic, and tropical music. Join me and my co-host Ernesto Lechner on the Latin Alternative.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
Blood services provider Vitalent is hosting blood drives at Yuma locations throughout the summer. Donations are critical to supporting the blood supply during long holiday weekends when fewer drives are held in the community. One blood donation could save up to 3 lives. Donations of all blood types, especially O, are needed. Appointments at donors.vitalent.org.
For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon. Although we're in the middle of summer, it's the start of the fiscal year for local governments. In the South Yuma County city of Somerton, that means a new budget. I spoke with Somerton City Manager Louis Galavis about the $38.3 million budget.
Yes, that's our new budget for this year, and we're looking forward to start implementing. This has to do with operations, special projects, just level of service, continue our level of service, and really this is what Mayor and Council provided us.
The Somerton budget includes projects such as Main Street redevelopment and pickleball courts. For more on the Somerton budget, visit kawc.org. For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon.
Fort Yuma Rotary and Rotary Club of Yuma are presenting the Killer Dueling Pianos on September 13th at AWC's Shoning Conference Center. The 21 and over evening of live music and entertainment will help support Rotary's local efforts, including scholarships and community service projects. Information and tickets are at eventbrite.com.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to the What's Up Yuma radio show. This is the first day that we're an hour, so if you're hanging out with us still, it's pretty
Thank
cool,
you.
right? Yeah, this is neat. We're working things out today, so bear with us if there's any technical glitches, and hopefully there's not. Everybody's been doing great so far.
It seems to be going smoothly.
Everything's been going
I'm
smoothly.
enjoying
I shouldn't even brought it up. People wouldn't even know.
Everyone's like, oh, now I'm going to look for the mistake.
But they do now see that we're longer than half an hour. This is the first
We got
hour.
bumped
And
up.
so our guinea pigs are Sharon and also Dusty Fields. Good morning, Dusty. Go ahead and get right close to that mic and bring it towards you. Then we can do that.
Good morning.
Hi.
Ronnie was really adamant about getting you on, talking about your career. 31 years as the Yuma Fire Department chief. Is that correct?
I was chief for 3 years, but total my whole career was 31 years. With
Oh, okay. So you were the chief for
Okay.
3 years, and that's what I thought, because I remember there was somebody else that was a chief not that long ago. I forget her name.
It was Steve for the Yuma Fire Department. So Steve was chief for 5 years.
Okay.
Him and I, we got promoted about the same time.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was the operations chief, ran the operations, and he was the chief of the department. And so for 11 years, I've been in admin, and so the last 3 years, I've been chief.
Okay.
So is that like the top?
Yes.
The pinnacle?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it's like the top of the ladder.
yeah,
as
for the
chief?
fire department, yes.
Cool.
And then I still have bosses. I've got the city
Okay.
administrator.
Got it.
And then the mayor and council is above.
Okay.
And
yeah.
he answers to the mayor and council.
Yes.
And I answer to the city administrator.
Oh, interesting.
So how did you get your start? You said 31 years total. Then
Actually, I was started 3.5 years prior to that with Rural Metro Fire Department.
Oh,
Okay.
Rural Metro.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So what year was that?
94 or 91 is when I started as a firefighter. My dad was a fireman at Yuma.
Okay.
And I got on in 94, and he worked as a battalion chief, so we got to work a little bit together.
Oh, cool.
We didn't get to. I didn't work under him, but he was
Yeah.
separated in another division. But we got to work together a little bit.
That's neat.
You mentioned Rural Metro, so that's where you got your start.
Yes.
And Rural Metro, they handle something a little bit different than the fire department. We'll talk about that. But real quick, I want to ask you, because my mom worked there at the time, Eileen Porter, did you know her at all?
did not.
Okay, she was an EMT,
Okay.
a part of
From
Rural
what year?
Metro. What's that?
What year do you know?
I think it might have been a little bit later than 94.
Okay.
But she
let's
was,
talk about relatives then.
Yeah, what's
so
that?
my uncle was Chris Herrera.
Yes.
Yes, so he's awesome. Hi, Uncle Chris. And my father-in-law is Brad Baumgartner.
I know both of them.
Yeah, and Bo, you know
Yeah,
Bo,
I
he's
do.
trying to get into Yuma
Yeah.
Fire Department right now. So hopefully that
So
happens.
it's interesting is
Yeah.
I know everybody
Yeah.
on the department because I say I've been with the fire department for 54 years.
Well,
Because I was as a kid.
Exactly.
I was
because a kid.
you were
yeah,
born
yeah.
into it.
Pretty much. And
Yeah.
so leaving the fire department and doing something different,
Yeah.
retiring, it's a bittersweet thing for me.
I was gonna-
So-
yeah.
Uh-huh. So let's talk about your early days,
Yeah.
though. Rural Metro, what was that like when you first got on with Rural Metro? And explain what they cover.
So Rural Metro does fire and ambulance response in the county and unincorporated areas. The state government doesn't recognize fire protection, so Rural Metro could leave tomorrow, and I know it scares people, but they could, and in essence, there would be no fire protection.
Wow.
For anybody in the county.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Real quick, our Dave over here is in the county island. So do you guys take care of that little county island
Well,
off
if we see
of
fire,
Gateway?
people will call 911. It'll hit our dispatch center.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll respond and put the fire out if we need to. But it's ultimately the responsibility of Rural Metro if they're subscriber to Rural Metro. And so Rural Metro responds to all fires.
Oh.
So
Okay.
in the county. And sometimes you'll get people who aren't subscribers. I don't want you here. I don't want the bill or whatever. And then their place will burn down. So
And you'd still go out and so what was that like though when you first got in? You said you have some relatives in it.
Yeah.
The first time you put on a suit and went out there, what was that like?
you know what? It was pretty surreal. I mean, because I saw my dad. I mean, as a kid, I remember him working on the ambulance, a private ambulance. As a fireman, on his days off, he'd have the ambulance at the house, so I'd see all the equipment and everything. It was pretty cool. But I was never. It was like when I was growing up, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I thought maybe I'd become a teacher, coach football, and in essence, fire service is like sports and being part of a team. And so it kind of translated to being a coach. So ultimately, I'm the coach of the Yuma Fire Department
That's right.
now, and getting ready to retire and handing it off to the ones behind me.
So what was your like? Do they have a chief at Rural Metro?
They do, yeah.
So what was it like when you were? Like I said, you put on the suit, you got in. Now,
Do you remember your first call?
Yeah, maybe your first call. Something about like that the beginning and how you were part of a team. How'd that work out?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, and I would say the training wasn't as robust as we like do now, and I think Rural Metro's kind of upped their game. So there was a lot of things that we did that were probably not the safest things to do.
Okay, so yeah.
And so, but we learned from our mistakes. And I remember going on my first fire as a reserve. I drove in my personal vehicle, showed up, and there was one man on the truck because they didn't have a lot of money, and they were fighting fire. I go in, and two guys leave. That we're in this working house fire, and I know enough to stand in the doorway because that's the strongest part of a building.
Oh, okay.
And if something happens, I'm safe there.
Yeah.
And it happened. The roof
It happened.
Came down.
Oh, my
The roof
goodness.
came down.
Okay.
and I was in the archway, and it saved me. And I was probably a year on, and I was still a reserve. And I told my dad later on, he was mad because it was there. The things for Yuma Fire Department is if you go in as a team, you go out as a team.
Yes.
Someone needs air, you got to go out. Well, they just left me in there fighting fire.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's just all hands trying to do more with less. That's really the theme of the fire service lately. Is we're doing a lot more with less, and we're trying to change that. To get
It really
more
is
resources.
teamwork.
It is.
I mean, I watched my husband go through the whole academy, and that's exactly what he would say. Like, if you go in together, you have to be with your partner. Like, you have someone you're with at all times. You're never alone.
So the structure of rural metro was a little bit different at the time because, like you said, they maybe not much funding or training to be able to, because it takes funding, it takes money to be able to get the training, to be able to have that. So you got in, the rules weren't quite there, but
A little more
you
laxed.
did it for how long?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. And so then were you always like, I need to get over to the Yuma Fire Department. That's my home.
Yeah, my dad and I had an uncle that worked at the Yuma Fire Department at the time, and so it was a family affair, you know, so that was kind of a cool thing to be able to work with my dad and my uncle.
Yeah.
You know, so.
So how'd you get to be a part of the Yuma Fire Department? Tell me a little bit about that, making the jump or the switch over from rural metro.
Yeah, it took, and if anybody's listening that wants to be a firefighter, don't ever get discouraged. Don't, if you have a failure, you take a written test or a physical ability test.
Yeah.
It took me 3 times. To
Three
get on.
times. So you're already at rural metro. You're there. You're a firefighter, but to make the move, even though your family's there, it's still like you have to pass some tests that could be a little difficult. But you didn't at first. Explain that. What was that like the first time you failed?
You have so much anticipation on that test and the nervousness of it all. You know, the first written test, I don't think I scored high enough in the band I needed to be in. And then the second time, the last 2 times, I scored high enough. I got to the interview, and then I didn't get picked up the first interview. It was my second interview on the third test that I was hired. So it was, we get hundreds and hundreds of people for a couple positions opened up.
That's what just happened.
Why do you think there's so many people that, because Ronnie was explaining that. She was
like
talking,
they just had Yuma Fire Department just opened. They had 400 applications in 2 days. They shut it down in 2 days.
Well, I'll give you some context.
Okay, yes, please.
Normally, and all the departments across the country are struggling to recruit. The only reason why we've got that many is because there's a lot of people that have no certifications that can put in for it. Yeah. Most of the time, we lock it down. You have to have your EMT and your firefighter 1 and 2, which the college out here teaches. Both of those classes, or 3 classes, 1 and 2, and then the EMT class. And so usually when we lock it down, we'll get 20, 30 candidates for 7 people. That's not enough.
But this one was open.
This was open.
It was like you just need your high school diploma and like a license. See what happens.
And no felonies.
Yes, that's important.
Yep.
Wow.
So now you're saying the reason why there's so many was because you opened it up.
Yes.
But so 30 is not a lot?
No.
Wow.
No, because we usually lose people in the written and the physical ability, and the physical ability is really hard.
Yeah.
There's some steps.
You have to do it in like 10 minutes or something, or like 8 or something.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes.
Yeah. And it's
I might
rough.
not be exact on the number, but it's around 8. And there's a stair step thing with a vest, and you can't touch the handrails or you fail. And
oh my goodness.
It's a very tedious.
Yeah.
You got to prepare for it, and we offer 8 weeks of training for people who are candidates to allow them to be successful at the test.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So then you failed, you said it quite a few times, but you finally made it. What was it like making that jump when you finally made it? You're part of the Yuma Fire Department.
It was awesome. It was 31 years ago, July 18th, I joined the Yuma Fire
Oh,
Department.
wow. So just had your anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it was great. I had 7 folks in my academy, and we did it for a couple months, and it wasn't as structured as it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, it was structured, but it wasn't the way it is now. It is like night and day difference. Our folks are just so much more prepared.
Because when you join the fire department, you have to go through another academy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like you guys put people that are already certified through a whole nother training.
Yeah, because there's things that we do specifically, hose loads, the way we treat people in the field as paramedics or EMTs. There's things that we do specifically that we call like the Yuma Fire Department way of doing things. And so you have to unlearn some things and learn the new way of doing it.
So some things that you obviously had to unlearn, I guess, from rural metro, just because, again, I'm not trying to put them down, but funding, there's certain things that they have in considerations. What was it like to have to maybe unlearn stuff and then learn this new way in the Yuma Fire Department? Any struggles in the beginning?
No, I didn't have any struggle because I grew up in it and I seen it from afar. If anything, it's probably when I went over working there and the lack of some of the structure that you would normally see. They had captains and they had chiefs, but it was like a skeleton crew, I'd call it.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of made do and tried to stay safe, and you did the best you could. And my dad always told me something when I first started. He goes, "You're going to go see some things that are pretty bad, and it's going to hurt your heart when you see a little one hurt or whatever. But the thing would happen no matter what. You're just there to help, and you want to make things better." And that's always been kind of the thing I've always leaned on is like, yeah, this is horrible, but we're here to help, and we're making it a little better. So when I left there and went to the structure of the Yuma Fire Department, just opportunities for different certifications, and I became a hazmat technician.
Wow.
What is that? What is a hazmat technician, and what's something that do you...
Hazmat materials.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the question is two parts. So what is that? And then did you ever get called on anything where you needed to use that certification?
Yes, several times. We have a team of people in the department. We have probably about 60 hazmat techs. And this fire station right off of Araby Road, not too far from here, that's where the hazmat team is located. And they also do technical rescue. So there's two different teams that run out of that fire station. And so, yes, it's 200 hours training. And me and three other guys, we would do, on our days off, we would go out to YPG because that's where the class was being hosted. Because the instructor offered the Yuma Fire Department some class seats because we actually had a class at the city of Yuma prior to me getting there. Actually, my dad was in that hazmat class, and they made a connection that said, hey, if you want to send some folks, since you've already had one, we got some seats for you. So I was able to do it in 96.
Wow.
So I was actually in my hazmat graduation class when my dad retired in 96.
So do you remember your first hazmat call? Or any calls or anyone that sticks in your mind,
man,
hazmat?
There was one that we were on where we shut the spill down. It was 97, and it was right behind, our Mount Zion churches off 24th
I think so,
Street.
yeah.
I think it's Zion now.
It's called something Zion, but yeah.
And so right in that area, there's a county pocket in a little city area. On the railroad tracks, they had a 98% nitric acid tanker that was leaking. We were able to put a come along on it with some plating and stop the leak. Well, that tanker, they wanted to offload it and put it in trucks, and the trucks weren't rated for that. And it was all the vendors talking, and I learned a great deal during that call, because sometimes you got to look at the materials you're putting stuff in, and so we learned that, hey, we could have left it on the tracks and just waited for another tanker that was rated at that rating and offload it safely. Well, they offloaded it in over-the-road carriers that didn't rate 98. It was like 74%, and it caught all the gaskets and rubber on fire, and we had a fire for a little bit, and so, man, it was a learning experience for the city of Yuma Fire Department and our hazmat team. But we had people from the state hazmat team from DPS there with us.
Wow.
We had Union Pacific Railroad hazmat team there with us. But sometimes leaving something alone and not messing with it once you got it stopped is better.
Wow, and that's something you don't learn until you said kind of going out in the field, even though you have your training, but you got to take in a lot of considerations. You learn that on the field, and that's something, a lesson. And now, never to do that again. You got to check the rating of what you're going to contain this material. And we're going to talk about that and more about his experience at Yuma Fire Department. You're listening to 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Sunrise Cleaning, serving the Yuma area's residential and commercial cleaning needs. Sunrise exclusively uses eco-friendly cleaning products and provides specialty services such as solar panel cleaning and pressure washing. More information and appointment booking at sunrisecleaningaz.com.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan. Join us on Wood Songs this week as we celebrate the music of the front porch. This week, bluegrass and psycho roots band from Wyoming. Yes, I said psycho roots. The Kitchen Dwellers, and from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Tenny Rain, plus an amazing Wood Songs kid. All of this and more on this week's broadcast of the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
Tuesday evening at 7 on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
Christina's Closet will host Swing for a Cause, a golf tournament in support of the organization's ongoing mission of helping individuals return to the workforce. The event, including lunch, raffles, and prizes, will take place on September 13th at Cocopah Bend RV and Golf Resort. More information and tickets at christinascloset.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to the What's Up, Yuma radio show. We are here with retiring Yuma Fire Department Chief Dusty Fields, and he just taught us a little lesson about handling dangerous materials, some chemicals and stuff. A close call that cost more than if, they would have, if they were left it alone, which is, I don't think about leaving it alone, but a good lesson.
Yeah.
And we're talking a little bit about off air. Ronnie wanted to bring up another lesson, something that we need to take in consideration is the mental health of these firefighters, because you mentioned that your dad's letting you know, like, hey, you're going to see this kid that's probably hurt and it's going to do something to you, but you're going to have to be there. You're going to still have to be the hero. Talk to a little bit about that, and what do you do to help the mental health for these firefighters?
Well, there's multi-layers of protection that's been implemented over the last several years. The city has a program like regular EAP that you can go to, and then the Firefighter Association has one that's that they support. I'm trying to think of the name right now, and I'm kind of losing my train of thought on that. But they're Fire Strong is what it's called, and so they'll actually send you off to facilities to get help in regards to it. There is another level of care that you can get that's a lot more expensive, and you try to do the smaller things first.
Yeah.
After, like, say, a trial drowning, we talk to our people. We do critical incident stress management in the fire department. So we have several reps on the department. Yeah. We have a health, safety, and wellness person. His name is Captain Gazbro, and he oversees that program, and he has people that he trains. And so those are some of the things that we do. So CISM, EAP, Fire Strong, and a higher level of EAP that the city sponsors.
Because they need to decompress.
They do.
You witness, say you have a small child the same age as somebody you just witnessed drowning. I mean, what that can do to your psyche and the PTSD that will come after that.
Yeah, if you don't treat it, it'll accumulate over time.
Exactly.
And it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So we've been really trying hard to make sure. Another area, too, there's a liability to the city because there's preemptive laws for mental health and also for cancer and cardiac for the fire service in Arizona. So if we don't take care of it, ultimately we want people healthy.
Yes.
That's really our goal.
We need you guys healthy to save us.
And so an offshoot is recently, about a year ago, a gentleman came to me and asked me if he'd help start a chaplain program for public safety for the city of Yuma. So we did our first training, and we've got 3 people that are cross-trained police and fire chaplain. And July 1st was like when the money became available for them to get uniforms and start doing some activities in the community. And so we're working to up the number I'd like to have like 7 or 8. So that we can have people available for the police and firefighters.
So 7 or 8 chaplains?
Yes.
At one time?
They're all volunteers and they don't get paid, so it's a volunteer program. So I don't want to put all the work on a couple people. And people need to travel. And if most of these people are retired. And so I have one person that actually works for the city. That's a chaplain. He does stuff on the weekends and at night for us. But ultimately, we need to spread the load out.
I agree.
Because so somebody sees something that's tragic, something that's really messy with them, at least having somebody to talk to and, as Ronnie said, decompress, that means a lot, doesn't it?
It sure does. you ever heard of gallows humor? Firefighters will say some things amongst themselves that most people say, yeah, that's using poor taste.
It
but
might
to
be
them,
dark.
they're like,
It's dark, but it's a way to unload. It's like the pressure valve. You got to release it.
Yes.
You guys are a team. You're a fellowship. So only you will understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But to us, we'd be like, why would you say that?
I saw glimpses of it as a kid from my
Yeah.
dad. So he was a funny guy. His name was Johnny too.
Oh, right on. Cool. Good name. I like him now already.
Johnny Fields?
Yeah, Johnny Fields. So, and he was he was known to tell jokes and tell stories. He was a great guy. So
How did you get Dusty as your name? Who named you?
My dad. He was
Your
funny.
Dusty.
It was funny. That's why. That's
If I was a girl, I'd been Strawberry. He said.
Strawberry Fields. Yeah.
Oh, that would have
yeah,
been pretty.
Sharon's
okay.
still here. She's got a big smile on her face
she's
over
like,
here.
I
When
like
she said,
that
I
one.
like that. Should have been Strawberry Fields. Should have been. But Dusty Fields, because when she said it, I was like, is that a thing?
Is that
Like
his real
'cause,
name? I'm
Dusty-
like, that's
yeah.
his name.
But
I'm
you're-
Dustin, but I go by Dustin.
Oh, okay.
Dustin did.
But
But
so
he
Dusty's
knew that
great.
already. That his nickname was going to be Dusty.
he did.
So you can get Dusty
He was-
Fields,
he was
which
a-
we get a lot of here in Yuma.
We
so
do.
Oh, I love that. Your dad is funny.
Yep.
yeah.
All right, so tell us about your retirement plans. You are retiring this month or next month?
Next month, the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, my last day is Friday the 5th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Well, before we get to that,
Okay,
because we
sorry.
still have some time, but so retirement, that's a big deal.
Yes,
Right? That's obviously, we're going to figure out what you're going to do, but you got to figure out, am I ready for this before that, right? And why did you make that decision now? What goes into that? And tell me why now.
So let me give you a little background first. About 11 years ago, when I became the operations chief, I was considered the assistant chief. We named it the deputy chief of the fire department. One of my goals was to change the health and wellness for the fire department. So talking about the chaplains program and the other things.
So that was a goal.
Yes.
That was your goal.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
one
So
of
that's
my
something
goals-
specific to you.
Yeah,
and
and physical. So let me give you a little background. My dad in '96 retired. 10 years, almost to the day, he died of cancer, occupational cancer. So we changed the whole physicals that we do for our fire department. They're called
Wow.
1582 compliant physicals. Because I said I don't want it to be like it was when my dad retired.
Gotcha.
I want to make it better for our folks.
Wow, that's real
So-
heartfelt.
Yeah,
I
so
love
one of
that.
the things is I wanted to leave it better than I found it.
Yeah.
And so now we have these physicals that we do. We have the chaplains program. And so
there's certain markers, it sounds like. There's certain markers where you knew that you wanted to accomplish some things, and some of those things got accomplished.
Yeah, well, and it was help of Chief Erb prior to me. I mean, I couldn't have gotten it done without him helping me, getting the funding to do these things. He was on board because he's a retired fireman too, and he wants to have cancer screenings himself. So my other goal was to get retirees that are in the band of being eligible for the city to be on the hook for cancer. I want to be able to catch it early so nobody dies.
Yeah.
And also it lowers the amount of liability to the city, of course. So retiree screening. So I think we have something in place now with our new physicals. Well, retirees will be able to do a form of that 1582 physical.
Wow.
And it's something locally that we're trying to do at the Yuma.
And that's so you're saying locally at Yuma, so other fire departments don't do this?
Some
do,
like,
and some,
like Mesa Fire Department.
was there somebody like you modeled yourself after,
No.
or?
At first, I was really idealistic. I wanted to do it statewide, and then I found out there's just too many competing interests.
Okay.
And then I figured, you know what, I need to handle it at my level, what I can
Yes.
influence. And so it was a learning experience, and realized, you know what, when we bid for this next physical provider, we're going to ask, hey, if I have insurance, can I do a physical if I'm a retired firee? And they agreed to that.
Wow.
Our last
okay.
vendor didn't want to do that. This new vendor does. So.
Wow, you're definitely leaving your mark.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
definitely.
really cool.
So the original question was talking about why now. So it does sound like you were able to, like she said, leave your mark, and you felt like that's something that you're going to leave it a better place
Yeah.
today. And so you started to think about that, like it's better. I've kind of reached some of my goals, and that's why I'm going to retire.
Well, you know, you ever heard the saying, life occurs when you're busy making plans?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
really what happened to me. 11 years had been it. If you understand the dedication, like my ops chief, his name is Deputy Chief Lauser. He is nonstop busy on the phone 24/7. I did that job. I'm not as busy as he is because ops chief takes a lot of work. So I kind of know what's he's dealing with. And so I was doing that for 8 years nonstop. My phone was never off.
A
Crazy.
lot,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just a nonstop job. It's like being the president almost. It's like it's not as of course, crazy, but I'm just trying to give you an example.
Yeah, so it's
I
we
never
get it.
had gray hair until I started.
It's demanding.
Fire chief.
It's
is.
demanding.
It's
And so once I
it's-
became chief, I never joined the fire department thinking I'd be chief.
Yeah.
Never did. Never. It was never my aspiration. I was
Okay.
a reluctant. I put in, and I was appointed, and it was one of those things. So I don't know where I'm headed. I know this door is closing.
Yeah.
I've done what I needed to do. God is opening a door for me for something else. So, and I trust in God.
So you trusted God. You feel like you did leave a mark,
Yep.
something that can stay with the fire department, and not just the fire department, the people that are going to need to take advantage of these things. Like you said, your old provider got rid of him. You're not going to play ball. We got to find somebody new to be able to do this. This is what we want to do, and you've done it. Now you said you don't know what you want to do after this.
Well,
but
God opened the door for me. He will.
Any ideas? You want to do sailing, traveling, or anything like that?
Golfing, relaxing.
I don't golf, but one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about is doing a little bit of traveling with my wife. She graduated. She retired a year ago. She was a school teacher, did 25 years. But I'm going to get my hands in something, I'm sure. And I'm really active involved with my church on the Cornerstone Ridge. And so we'll see what happens with that. So
It'll find you.
it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard that when you retire, you got to stay active.
Yeah.
Or that's when you do pass away.
I watched
if
my
you-
mom retire, and she was like, "What do I do?" She had like a month of didn't know when to sleep or whatever.
Yeah, so wish you the best. Thank you
Yes,
so much
thank
for
you so
coming
much.
on. Congratulations to everything you've accomplished over there at the
Yes.
Yuma Fire Department.
Congrats.
I hope your legacy lives for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I appreciate you,
Thanks,
Dusty.
Dusty.
Thank you. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yep.
And with that, What's Up Yuma is a production of KAWC Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornalis, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reed.
And you can find out more about KAWC at kawc.org, on Facebook at KAWC Radio, and on the KAWC app. And stay tuned following our program for KOFA Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, we are going to be joined by Tori from the Amberley's Place.
Oh, yay.
Somebody you're probably familiar with, right?
Awesome.
Yep, no worries.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, so that's going to be great. So stick around for that.
And you can listen to the podcast version anytime and past episodes at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio, and email us at whatsupyumaradio@kawc.org.
Once again, thank you so
Thanks,
much, Dusty.
Dusty.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Sharon.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. YumaElectricServiceLLC.com.